Welcome into New York Giants Now. I am Tom Downey, here to talk about the future of offensive coordinator Jason Garrett. New York Post put out an article today about how maybe Jason Garrett should be under pressure and on the hot seat since so much has been made about the future of guys like Daniel Jones and Dave Gettleman. I actually very much agree with the NY Post on this one. I believe that the Giants' offense does not drastically improve. It should not all be on the shoulders of Gettleman or Daniel Jones or whoever. I don't think that the Jason Garrett-led offense in year one for New York was particularly good, and all of the numbers that exist out there agree with me. I don't think even the most homer of homer fans out there could be like, oh yeah, it was actually good. It was bad. Points per game, 31st. Yards per game, 31st. Passing yards per game, 29th. Rushing yards per game, okay, at 19. Turnovers per game, 22nd. All of these things are bad. And yes, the offensive line gets blamed. And yes, Daniel Jones, who we'll get into, gets some blame as well. But the coordinator also gets some blame as far as I'm concerned. Namely, the fact that I don't think the Garrett offense was built to feature some of the guys on this roster. And the addition of Kadarius Toney, I believe from the Giants front office, and I think head coach Joe Judge a little bit too, was a opportunity/message to Jason Garrett of, hey, you need to maximize this player. Because my belief is that early in the career of Kadarius Toney, especially in year one, if you want to maximize him, you should scheme for him. You should do things like jet sweeps and jet touch passes and quick screens and find ways to get him open. Unfortunately, from the history and what we know of the Jason Garrett offense, that's not exactly his star feature. And this is a guy who, or the coordinator I should say, last year the Giants offense was 31st out of 32 in pre-snap motion, something I like a lot. I think it helps identify what scheme the defense is in. I would do it a little bit more often if I were New York, and I think a dynamic short area of the field playmaker like Toney is going to benefit from pre-snap motion, stuff like the jet sweeps, jet touches that I mentioned. And I believe the head coach agrees with me. Here's what Joe Judge had to say, if weirded a little bit weirdly. We're going to be looking to go ahead and make sure we create enough versatility in his, meaning Toney's, game to play him in different spots in our system. But we also will have to change our system like we do with everything to cater to our players. Now, the whole making the players, or making the scheme fit the players is a very common phrase. Like that is a very happy coach speak type of thing. But it has to be seen a little bit more often than what we have in the past. So if Jason Garrett cannot maximize Toney and the quarterback, I think it's on the hot seat this year. So make your predictions. At the end of the year, what will the Giants do with Jason Garrett? Type in K for keep him or type in F for fire. Now, the whole point of bringing in Jason Garrett and adding Kenny Golladay and Kadarius Toney and, of course, getting Saquon Barkley back and healthy was to maximize Daniel Jones. And in 2 years, that has not happened yet. Now, we've seen some flashes of some good deep ball success, and hopefully Golladay and Toney and Slayton benefit from that. But the overarching on-field play has not been good enough. Daniel Jones has not been a franchise quarterback yet. Maybe the year 3 leap happens, just like it did for Josh Allen. But I do believe the NY Post was right when they kind of put Jason Garrett under the pressure and hot seat as well. Because if the Giants' offense is bad, I think Jason Garrett deserves at least some of the blame, and it might be time for him to go as the OC.